The room is dim. Shadows linger like whispers in the air. You walk in, and there she is. Her beauty, stunning, radiant, unfurls like a flower, demanding your gaze, your attention. But the moment you look deeper, when your heart dares to venture beyond her skin, you feel the tremor of betrayal. Beauty seductively flirts with the surface, putting on a show while your soul aches to connect. You thought you were seen, but no. This was never about you. You were simply a prop in her desired narrative. Your heart beats in sync with the unspoken expectations. You wear the mask she wants you to wear, shrouded in the fog of her desires. You believe in the illusion of acceptance, but it's a mirage, a cruel trick played by longing. In that very moment, the knife of realization cuts through the soft fabric of your hope. Beauty disarms, yes, but it's the intellect that ignites the fire of the soul. In that pivotal moment when she smiles, you hear the seductive whisper, "Just say yes." You say yes to dinner, yes to late-night conversations that stretch into the dawn, yes to whatever demands she places upon you. You mold yourself, flex to fit her needs, convinced that this will anchor your connection, that your compliance will quench your thirst for validation. But it's a treacherous game, a dance of shadows. This availability, this constant need to please, is a poison that churns in your gut. Do you remember that night, standing at the edge of your own convictions, desperately wanting to say no but suffocated by the fear of rejection? The air was thick with the weight of your own truths, but you surrendered. You'd rather please her than honor yourself. And in that surrender, you lose more than just your voice. You lose your essence. Real connection does not bloom in the soil of compromise. It blossoms where self-respect grows, where the courage to say no becomes a bridge to authenticity. Dig deeper, friend, into the heart of your very being. The seduction of emotional safety lulls you into complacency. You convince yourself that by abandoning your boundaries, you are building a sanctuary for both of you. But the truth? This illusion is a thief, stealing your vitality. It wrings you dry, leaving you a hollow shell. Carl Jung spoke of individuation, a fierce confrontation with yourself, an acknowledgement of both light and shadow, the parts you wish to deny. He knew that when you abandon your depths, when you hide from your fears, you become an echo of what others want you to be. You become the puppet who dances to external strings, the faceless actor in another's play without a script of your own. And isn't it painful to acknowledge that? The very act of seeking emotional safety has depleted your spirit, carving away the core of who you are. You've given so much of yourself that you've lost your sense of self. The calm you seek becomes chaos, a suffocating blanket, yet you cling to it. But remember, the truth cuts deeper than any fear. You thought, if I am available, if I show my worth, I can control how she sees me. Here lies the cruelest trick of all. By seeking to control perception, you've surrendered your power. You sacrificed authenticity for acceptance, as if approval could fill the void of your own discontent. But here's the unvarnished truth you hide from. You don't have control over others. You can only claim power over yourself. Every time you submit to the fantasy of keeping her close, every time you bend and break to fit the mold, you lose pieces of your spirit. What power lies in the man who can stand firm in his own boundaries? He is no longer swayed by flattery or fear. He speaks truth because he knows himself. He doesn't seek validation through performance. He offers authenticity in silence. So, let's talk about boundaries. Not as a barrier, but as a sacred ritual. Picture it, standing alone, cutting the cords that bind you to another's expectations. It's an act of clarity, a reclamation of your own narrative. Feel the weight fall away as you declare, "This is who I am." The silence becomes your ally. The strength you find in that solitude is irreversible. You are not seeking healing. You are finding your truth and letting the lies fall away. You don't need more healing. You need to stop lying about who you are. You were never free. You were simply unaware of the chains you wore. The first time you say wow or no plus, and feel the weight of relief. A deep breath after cutting the emotional cord, solid. The quiet of a morning, standing alone in your peace. Don't keep this. Send it to the person still handing away their power, to everyone but themselves. Let them see what they refuse to confront. This isn't a lesson. This is a wake-up call. The grotesque beauty of the truth is that it isn't tidy. It's raw, unsettling, unlike the polished masks we wear. The journey into individuation is lonely, but it is a journey worth taking. Embrace it. Stand unyielding in your sovereignty, for when you do, you will discover a freedom that far surpasses any fleeting moment of acceptance. The choice is yours. Continue to play the role or become the man who chooses himself. Unapologetically, relentlessly. This is your truth. Now own it. In the void where shadows dance, in the quiet moments of reflection, lies an uncomfortable truth. You are not just fighting the world outside, you are battling the tempest within. Every interaction, every relationship is a mirror reflecting your own insecurities, your own fears. And as you navigate through this labyrinth, the haunting question arises, why do I feel so lost? Look closely. The answer is buried beneath the layers of your existence, hidden under the weight of others' expectations. You surrender bits of yourself to fit their desires, hoping, praying that somehow this will fill the gaping void. But it never does. Each sacrifice leaves you emptier, a ghost haunting the corridors of your own life. The moment you began to seek validation outside, you unknowingly signed a pact of self-betrayal. Jung warned of this spiritual possession, where relationships become entangled in the web of projection. You were never meant to be a vessel for her fantasies, yet here you are, conforming. You laugh when she laughs, agree when she speaks, nod in submission, all in the name of connection. But in doing so, you choke the very essence of your being. Real intimacy is forged in the fires of authenticity, where vulnerability is met with respect, not fantasy. And so you stand at a crossroads, caught in the siren song of approval. The allure of being wanted lures you back into the cycle of pleasing, and each yes is a nail in the coffin of your true self. Remember the last time you felt your spine stiffen, the moment you chose to speak your truth? The dissonance echoed in the silence that followed. You felt the air thicken as if the universe itself conspired against you. But that was the moment you planted the seeds of your liberation. The reality is harsh. You are not just an actor in a play, but the playwright of your own life. It's time to reclaim the pen. Take a step back. Assess the roles you've been playing. Unmask yourself from the illusions that have shrouded your identity. Who are you beyond the expectations? Who do you become when you shed the skin of others' desires? Explore the depths of your psyche, where the shadows linger, where the truth dwells. The journey is not glamorous. It is a raw excavation of the self. It cuts deep, unearthing fears you'd rather ignore, insecurities that claw at your insides. But every scar tells a story, and every wound holds the potential for healing. Jung understood this dance well, the delicate balance of eros and logos, the feminine energy of connection and the masculine force of clarity. They must not fight, they must complement. And in that synergy lies the harmonious union, where both hearts engage in the dance of mutual respect and understanding. She doesn't seek to control. She longs to be anchored by your presence, your conviction, your truth. The man who has confronted his own depths becomes irresistible not because he appeases her fantasies, but because he invites her to meet him in authenticity. No more puppetry, no more masks. Just raw, unfiltered existence. Speak not from a desire to impress, but from a place of conviction. Let your words resonate with the echoes of your soul, and in doing so, draw her closer, not to a mirage, but to the essence of who you truly are. But be warned, this path is fraught with peril. The moment you choose to stand tall in your truth, the world might recoil. You will provoke discomfort in those chained to their illusions. They will question, mock, and challenge your newfound resolve. But their resistance is not your concern. It is a reflection of their own battles. Individuation is not a friendly invitation. It's a call to arms. Embrace the solitude that accompanies it. Feel the fierce winds of change whip around you. It is in this desolate space that you will find your true voice, your true purpose. You will learn to thrive beyond the clutches of others, to exist in a realm where external validation holds no power over you. As you walk this rugged path, you will encounter moments of deep beauty, the stillness of a morning where the sun rises over uncharted territories of your heart, the profound peace that settles over you when you finally release the burdens you've carried for far too long. True seduction goes beyond the physical. It resides in the depth of connection, the intellectual fire that ignites the soul. You become the man who walks the tightrope of vulnerability and strength, an enigmatic figure who draws her in without even trying. Your presence alone becomes magnetic, not because you conform to her ideals, but because you exist unapologetically in your truth. And when you finally shed the chains of pleasing, you'll notice the shift. The women who once chased you for the fantasy you embodied will now be drawn to the authenticity you exude. They will no longer seek the caricature. They will crave the real man standing before them, ready to engage in a dance of genuine connection. This awakening is not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who dare to confront their shadows head-on, for those who are willing to brave the storm of self-discovery. They will step into their power, reclaiming the narrative of their lives, writing their own story instead of playing a part in someone else's script. In the end, remember, you can never control how others perceive you. True power lies in the boundaries you set, not as walls, but as sacred spaces that honor your essence. Let her see you for who you are, not who you pretend to be. When you finally embrace this reality, you will shine with a brilliance that cannot be dimmed. You will become a beacon of authenticity in a world obsessed with illusions. A man who no longer fears rejection because he has already accepted himself. When you stand in your truth, you no longer chase after validation. You become the source of your own worth. And in this, my friend, lies the deepest form of seduction, one that transcends the superficial and connects on a soul level. Now, step into the light of your own becoming. Let the shadows fade. The world awaits the brilliance that only you can bring. Embrace the chaos, the pain, the beauty, and the truth. You are not just a man. You are a force of nature waiting to unfold.